Hi, my name is Valerie. I live in North Vancouver, BC, Canada. And well into my 70s, suddenly I got a terrible pain. I'm in a tap troupe of seniors, and but in the summer we dance a lot, and we'd been going through a lot of rehearsals, a lot of performances, and I thought, well, the repetitive motion must somehow have injured my back. I went to the doctor, and she gave me a prescription or a slip to get an X-ray and a CT scan, and I did both. And she said, "Aha, you have facet syndrome in your spine. It's wearing out, and I want you to sleep with a full body pillow and never do any more tap or any more exercises. Just aquasize in a pool to protect your spine." Oh my God, that was such a blow. And my number one love is dancing. And I was in incredible, horrible, horrible pain. I could not even drive the car because lifting my arms up, my lower back and my glutes were just screaming. And I was suffering terribly out. I told all my friends I was incapacitated, and I couldn't believe this is how I'm going to be for the rest of my life. Unbelievable, unbearable. Anyway, I finally went to a chiropractor for 3 months, spent a fortune, did nothing. Same physio, same with a massage therapist. Wonderful people, did nothing. Finally, I discovered a doctor that did trigger point therapy, trigger point injections. And I went to him for a long time. I went twice a week because they were starting to work like for about 15 minutes after each appointment. And it was just joy to have no pain. Even for 15 minutes, I paid a fortune, and I was going twice a week. And finally, I had to face the facts. This isn't working. Nothing is working. I went back to my doctor. She put me on opioids. Unbelievably, she put me on very strong hydromorphone, which is next to heroin in power. And I was on them for 6 months, and the pain got worse. It got worse, just like all the articles on Curable talk about. It gets worse with opioids. But I didn't know that yet. I hadn't discovered Curable yet, or John Sarno. Someone finally told me, there's a book about back pain by Dr. Sarno. You should probably read that. I was reading everything I could get my hands on. So that book was the beginning of my getting well. And through reading Dr. Sarno, I just knew that was right, because I had a huge family incident in May. And this is 3 years ago. And I knew that it was connected to that. I just intuitively knew that. And he talks about heavy emotional, psychological trauma. That's what I went through. So I thought, how can I ever find a doctor that knows all this, that can treat me? And I looked all over Vancouver, and I was Googling all the time to try to find someone. And of course, when I was on the internet looking and searching, I discovered Curable. Ah, what a relief. So I knew right away I was on the right path, and my pain lightened over that first year. My pain actually went from a 9.5. It was like a knife constantly turning. It was never still. The knife was still, and the level was markedly lower. It was wonderful. So then, a long time later, like was a year and a half later, I read an article in the Globe and Mail that said a doctor in Dalhousie University in Nova Scotia was having great success healing people with chronic pain. And I read that article and searched for somebody in Vancouver that would be near me that I could access. And fortunately, I found someone. And his name is Dr. John Ogrodnovich, and he's at University of British Columbia, the head of psychiatry out there, the same kind of principle as the doctor in Dalhousie University was using for curing chronic pain. And I went to him, not expecting miracles. I mean, not at all. But he said, you're already halfway there with all the work you've been doing on Curable. You understand the mind body. You're mostly there. You've just got a little bit. But I was feeling stuck. I'd been on Curable for 2 years, and I was feeling stuck. It's nice to have light pain, but I wanted it gone. And I went to the doctor at UBC for 3 sessions. They were expensive too, but well worth it. And the pain was still there when I went home after that third session. And on March 26th, when I woke up, March 27th, I could not believe it. I couldn't feel a thing. I walked into the kitchen to make tea, gauge my pain like we all do when we wake up and we know it's going to hit, and it didn't hit, and it hasn't come back. So of course I was jubilant, but I waited 2 days before I told anyone, just in case. And I phoned the doctor and I told him, I said, I haven't had pain since I left you on the 26th of March. And he said those magic words, you were already there. I just had to tweak you a little bit. And because of your work on Curable, you almost cured yourself. Isn't that a terrific story? I want to give people hope, because hope is all that saved me. It got me looking for more and more solutions. I wouldn't have found Curable without hope. If I was sort of just reveling and having pain and, enjoying it, which I can't imagine anyone doing that, I would have stopped. But I kept on looking, and does it ever pay off? Believe me, chronic pain is temporary, and you can do it if I can do it.